but not right now. I'm not really in the mood for that one. Ugh. It's a it's just a different game. You know, it's not a spin-off or a remake. I guess spin-off if you must have a classification. Yeah, it might actually be the exact same controls. I'd say Wrestle Wrestle will probably be up in about a week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure. We're still working at the design details. I got to get Scarlett's working on it, and we're still working on how it's going to look and all that. Yeah, I must have put a link to WrestleWrestle.com in there, and it's not up. I might have it redirect just to Spoony Experiment until it's done. I hate Rob Van Dam's music so much. It's like a fucking 4-year-old wrote it. I think seriously, Dixie Carter, if she's really serious about this ECW thing, she needs to get Sabu, because Sabu's fucking crazy. He's completely washed up, but he'll kill himself in that ring, and she loves that shit. Just dudes who will destroy themselves in the middle of that ring. And I know he's washed up, but like I said, if you want a guy to fly through plate glass, he'll fucking do it. Oh yeah, I've seen Sabu nearly kill himself. I actually saw the match where Chris Benoit suplex like back body dropped Sabu right on his neck and he broke his neck. I've seen that. I've seen Sabu in a barbed wire rope match that he almost like tore his jugular open on barbed wire. That was really gross. Yeah, I've seen I've seen Sabu nearly kill himself about a dozen times. Da 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 da. Rob Van Dam. Da 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 da. The whole effing show. No, Samoa Joe's he's not abducted anymore by ninjas, but they never mentioned where he was or what happened. He just came back. He's like, oh, fucking ninjas. I don't know. Yeah, no explanation. Still none. Like nobody's interviewed him. Like, who threw you in a van or how did you get away? He's just like, I'm back. Well, I'll actually tell you what it was meant to be. No, here's what it is. They actually did have an explanation. It was like he was abducted by the ninjas for like 5 weeks. Okay, and that like nobody fucking talked about him at all. Like there was just nobody. And so like I was the only guy who cared in the whole fucking world. And so like all of a sudden, I'm sorry, just before they cut to commercial, like 5 weeks after the abduction, they did this thing where it was like, you know how like terrorists have these videos where like it's in this really shitty underground location. There's this dude who's all tied up and shit, and he's like praise be to Allah, they have abducted me and their glorious army and stuff like that. It was like that where they had Samoa Joe, who's like all tied up and looking psychotic and sweaty and looking beat up, and like Samoa Joe is all brainwashed, and he's saying stuff like at first they abducted me, but now I've seen the light, and they will show me the way, and they will take over TNA, and all that. And so I really think what they were gonna do is have the ninjas be this invasion that's going on now. I think they wanted Samoa Joe to be part of the invasion, so like the ninjas would be ECW, and Samoa Joe would be part of that. And they never brought it up again after that. Like after that, yeah, something like Stockholm syndrome. So like I figure like they'd bring Samoa Joe back and he would lead the invasion of these guys. But they never ever mentioned that video. They've never mentioned the abduction or the ninjas ever again. So I think they just like I think they brought Joe back and they're like, should we do the invasion thing with Joe? And they're like, nah, that's fucking stupid, and they just dropped it. They do that. They'll do that a lot, where they just forget about heel turns. Yeah, like Kevin Nash's face turn. You know, they just forgot about that, and he rejoined the band, and now he's a face again. Like Kevin Nash has turned like 3 4 times in the last 4 months. I'm trying to think what other they had a. Oh, they had Jeff Jarrett. Um, Jeff Jarrett's turned heel and face like 3 or 4 times in like the last 5 months. It's so confusing with Jarrett anymore. Like what the fuck he's doing? Because he did this thing where like okay, Jeff Jarrett's a good guy, right? He comes back and like everyone's all yay Jeff Jarrett, and they do this thing where Hulk Hogan comes back, and Hulk Hogan's like, "We're gonna give the new people a chance, brother. We're gonna have breakout stars, and we're gonna like nurture these new young talents, and we're gonna break up the deadlock, the stranglehold the old guys have on this industry. We're not gonna make it about the old guys. It's gonna be about the new guys, brother, brother, brother." And so like that week, Jarrett like kicks open the dressing room door and he's like, "Hulk Hogan, how dare you?" And he's like, "What do you mean, brother?" And he's like, "Hulk Hogan, like I built this business. It's my business. Screw the new guys." He actually said that. He was like, "Screw the new guys. This is my show. I did this." And Hulk Hogan's like, "Hey, yo, this is about the new guys, brother, brother, brother. Here's a ring, brother." And and like Jeff Jarrett was like totally healing. He was healing out like crazy. And so we were like, boo. And then Bischoff comes back and he's like, then Bischoff is heel, and Bischoff's like, "You're gonna go work in the cafeteria making fucking hot dogs," and Jarrett's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And he's like, "'Cause I'm Eric Bischoff and you suck," and Jeff Jarrett, he's a face now, and he's and then Sting turns heel for no reason, and then he's like, "Why, Sting? Why?" And the audience is all, "We don't care why." But Jeff is like, "Why, Sting?" And like everyone wants to know why Sting. And nobody knows why Sting and did anything. And then Jeff Jarrett's kind of a good guy, and I don't know. Yeah, like oh yeah, Bischoff was a bad guy. Like he was fucking with Mick Foley, and he was sending Foley to like refinement school, and he made him wear a suit. He made him cut his hair. Or he wanted him to cut his hair, and like he's like finally he fires Mick Foley, and then Hulk Hogan comes back and he's like, "Bischoff, knock it off, brother." And he's like, "All right." And he's like, "I'm a good guy now." Like for no reason. He's like, "I'm sorry I did that to Foley." Yeah, just fuck. They have no idea what they're doing when it comes to heel and face stuff. I'm gonna see Inception on Sunday. Why did Eric Young turn heel? Because TNA has no idea what they're doing. RVD's already turned. Really? RVD joined the ECW invasion, or whatever it is. They've been invited, but he's already joined the ECW dudes. So I don't know if you call that a heel turn, but he kind of has done that already. Oh yeah, I mean after whatever the one night stand thing is, they'll just forget about it. It'll be over. And yeah, well what's silly is the ECW thing. The invaders are the faces. They are like the good guys are the invaders, and that never happens. Like how the hometown is the heels. Because what do they do when the invaders hit the ring? They started chanting ECW, like, and they're the good guys. And you got Rob Van Dam joining the ECW guys, and he's a face. So like you could call that a heel turn, but that's stupid. Yeah, and ECW is also face because Dixie Carter has vouched for them. Dixie Carter is this huge babyface character. She invited him. So it's okay. Like apparently if you have a problem with ECW being there, you're against Dixie Carter, so you're a heel. You know what I mean? So like TNA is the heel in this. It's weird. I should put something on the screen. You're looking at like a DOS prompt. That has to suck. I don't want to switch to web. I probably look like crap right now. I got a lot of ECW DVDs. I've got quite a few. Unfortunately, most of the DVDs I have were from like the dying days of ECW, so it was kind of crap. The home video is actually on a tape, so it's not on DVD. I guess I could stream it, but that would be kind of hard. And besides, it's actually really bad. So like, it's a handheld camera in the middle of an audience, so it's every bit as good as you'd think a handheld video at a wrestling event would be, which is not very. He actually did manage to get quite a lot of it, but if there was ever any crazy stuff, they just missed it. Yeah, Cloverfield less running. Actually, TNA has involved a lot more wrestling than it has in the past. So I have not been screaming wrestle wrestle at the screen, but there are times when I wish they would shut the fuck up. Especially when the beautiful people are like anywhere near the ring. I just wish they'd shut the fuck up because their segments take like 15, 20 minutes at a time. I haven't even gotten started on the Money in the Bank thing. Not only does the Money in the Bank completely devalue the ladder match, but I think Money in the Bank is the single worst thing to happen to the world title since, geez, it's completely devalued the world title. Because all it does, Money in the Bank gives you a title match at any time. So all it does is hot shot the belt onto a guy who doesn't deserve it. Because there's only been one time that anyone has ever used the Money in the Bank for a match in which the other contender was prepared for a match. Every other time it's been the guy has just gotten his ass kicked, he's completely just crippled. Yeah, it was Rob Van Dam. Every other time it was like the guy's been crippled with a chair, he's been beat up, some assholes like powerbomb the shit out of him. The guy's comatose, and the guy runs in, throws a briefcase at a referee, pins the guy, 1, 2, 3. It's so stupid. It's just a horrible way to change a title. It used to be title changes were a huge deal. You had to beat the champion. And it turned it into the hardcore title. Like you could get pinned in your sleep. Like if the guy followed you home, he could pin you in your sleep or some shit. And just you're basically defending the belt under 24/7 rules. And if you can't see how that completely destroys the credibility and prestige of the world title, then really you're just an idiot. And well, the other thing about the Money in the Bank is, let's if the guy wins, he's won a completely irrelevant title win. He has basically stolen the title. It's just outright thievery. Okay, so that's if they win. What if the guy loses? And actually, I thought that's where they were going with Jack Swagger. Like, he would try to cash in on Cena, forgetting that Cena is the last son of Krypton, and the only thing he sells is merch. So, like, I thought he would try to cash in on Cena and just get fucking destroyed. Do you have any idea what that does to a character who has, like, the most ideal title shot ever, like pinning a comatose man, and fails? The character is just done. The wrestler is completely destroyed. He will never get that credibility back because he couldn't beat a beaten man. You know what I mean? So the Money in the Bank is like a failure on all accounts. Oh, it's feasible, but the character's credibility will just be destroyed. I guess you could make it a storyline, but man, you'd really have to invest in that. Oh yeah, yeah, Mr. Kennedy, he won the Money in the Bank, and he that storyline basically painted him as the dumbest guy in the world because he put his briefcase on the line in a meaningless match against Edge. So yeah, he lost it there, which it was just about the dumbest thing he's ever done in his life. Actually, I think this will be the first time you'll see someone lose their Money in the Bank shot because I think somebody will. Yeah, I think what'll happen is somebody will lose their cage match or lose their title match, and like one of the world title matches will end, and then the guy will run out and try to cash in his briefcase, and then the Nexus will come out, and the Nexus will fuck it up, and so the guy will lose his Money in the Bank thing because the Nexus fucked him. Actually, in no DQ matches, Stevie Richards used to bring a taser. He would bring a stun gun, not a taser, a stun gun. He brought a stun gun to no DQ matches. Yeah. No, actually he still lost because Abyss no sold the stun gun. Well, Abyss is quite literally bringing a bat with like 7-inch nails pounded through it, so that's about as deadly as you know. The fucker might as well just bring like a Morning Star and a shield. Just turn it into a gladiator match. You know, give Rob Van Dam a trident. It'll just be perfect. Hey, I've seen the days in the WWE when Kane handcuffed Shane McMahon to a post and hooked up jumper cables to his nuts. You don't remember that? Yeah, that happened. And then the big setup to their match at the next pay-per-view was like he hooked up Shane's nuts to jumper cables and like a car battery. And the next week Shane invited Kane to dinner. Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna take Kane out to eat, and they did this thing where Shane very calmly sat. No, he sat. Yeah, yeah, I'm serious. He sat across from the table from Kane, and like very calmly told him exactly what he's gonna do to him at the pay-per-view. He's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna take this shovel and stick it up your ass the horizontal way. It's really gonna hurt you, motherfucker. I'm gonna kill you for what you did to me. Enjoy your dinner. And then he like walked away. And that was like, you know what they were trying to do is like, I get what they were actually going for. Like, he's like, I'm gonna give you your last supper. That was like, this is gonna be the story. He's like, I'm gonna give you this really nice dinner because this is the last fucking dinner that you're ever gonna enjoy with like all your teeth intact. You know, they were gonna do that. He was kind of doing this thing like if you ever saw the movie Heat, where it was like that great confrontation between Bobby De Niro and Al Pacino in the diner, where he's like, if I see you coming around the corner, I'll take you down. Like that was it's that they were going for that kind of dinner, but it was really silly. Like Shane invites Kane to dinner, and no, I'm on Windows 7, man. Anyway, I'm probably gonna close the stream down. I'm probably boring the piss out of you, so you guys have a good morning. I need a drink anyway.